All right, here we go. So we're live. Welcome to episode 56 of Chillin with the NY Warriors. All right. As you can see, guys, we got a special guest in the house. We got my man Marty, one half of the Comic Book Fanatics.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Comic Talk. Oh, wait a minute. What's up, everybody? Hey, first of all, let me just say thank you for inviting me on, guys. I really appreciate hanging out with the New York Warriors, man. Kind of just gives me a flashback of when we actually did that old show I think I just mentioned earlier, you know? But it's so great to be here, guys. It's great to hang out with you guys. I really do appreciate it. You guys are always fun, and your show is definitely one of those shows that, you know, you just kind of shoot from the hip, like you were telling me earlier, man. And before we get started, I know kind of like do shout outs at the end and stuff, but I want to give a big major shout out to my boy Ray Jr., man. He's overseas right now. He's on the other side of the pond, Afghanistan. He's doing his thing, man. He's, you know, just big old Sergeant Major Raymond Franklin out there. I want to give him a big shout out, man. He's got less than 150 days to go before he gets back home, man. And so just keep your head down, stay positive as you can, Ray. You know, get back home safe to us, man. And we got to do something when you get back, brother. But once again, guys, thank you for having me on the show, man.
Yeah, man. You know, so it's always a pleasure having you. And like I said, you know, like I was telling you off air, you know, our show mirrors basically comic talk. You know, I kind of wanted to start it because I couldn't really make the time frame too much, you know, on comic talk. So I wanted to do something that was similar to it, especially when you guys stopped. You know, we needed to fill that void of that fun that we used to have. You know, so
yeah, there is nothing wrong with that, man. And you know, and I'm glad you guys did that. To be honest with you. Just doing a show, and I'll be honest with you guys, just doing a show every Sunday, man, and trying to come up with topics to talk about. It got to be where I was really getting burnt out, you know what I mean? And I just got burnt out with doing the show. I didn't get burnt out with you guys, absolutely not. Please don't think that, you know. I just got kind of burnt out with doing the show and then things that were going on behind the scenes and things, you know, just life kind of gets in the way. I just kind of got to that point where I was like, man, I'm just a little tired of this right now. You know, I'm still going to associate with everybody. You know, nothing's changed as far as, you know, me being friends with everybody and being part of the community and all. It was just the fact that, oh man, just, you know how it is. You run the show, man. You know how it is. You run the show. And even being on Tim's show, man, Tim, you know, Tim's show and everything like that. Doing shows all the time can really, really burn you out, man. And I tell you what, I commend you for episode, 56 right here?
Yeah, we're right now, we just made 2 years straight of doing the show without any breaks.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. Congratulations on that. And I think Comic Talk only made it up to like freaking 12 or 13 or something like that.
No, you did like 30-something episomes.
Okay.
35.
I'll take that.
You know? That's a lot, considering they were every week. You know?
And I had fun doing it, man. I met so many great people on there. And the biggest thing for me about, and you guys remember how the community was before we actually started doing shows, right? You remember, like, you know, people would do their videos, they'd talk about their comic books, things like that, but you really never knew who that person was, you know?
Yeah.
Subscribe to their channel, and, you know, you're just like, oh, that's some great books. You may throw a message here and there. But then to be able to have a show where you brought people in, you could see their faces, and you'd be like, hey, I know, it was more personable, if you will. It was more personable. And that's where I started seeing a development in the community where people started doing wonderful things like talking to each other, hanging out. You guys met on, you know.
We met on YouTube. We met on the show, and we met on the off airs, and that's how we met. You know, we all live in New York, but you know, we definitely met through YouTube. You know.
Yeah, and I met a lot of people too, from the comic book community, or seeing them on YouTube channel and everything on the outside at the conventions. So, but yeah, and then you know, things led up to people doing trades, people doing acts of kindness, you know, in the community. I'd like to coin that as being the golden age of the comic book community, because it was a great time. It was just everybody everybody was coming together. Of course, you had your dramas in the background or even on the front ground, but you got to take the good and the bad with that.
Yeah, there's definitely more good than bad.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, man, it's it was a hell of a ride. It was a fun ride, and it's a different ride now.
Yeah, I guess I've been started the golden age. Yeah.
So real quick, we have a few people in the chat. I just want to real quick. We have Trinity Comics. Thanks for joining us. Jason Smith, Seawood 19, Vincenzo C. We have Who Dat Movies, Who Dat Comics and Movies. We have Gomez Comic Collector, and we have Rag 718. Thanks for joining us, guys. So basically, this week we don't really have too much lined up to talk about. We're just gonna shoot from the hip. But we do want to talk about one thing, and I know Marky's very excited about this. But Aquaman just dropped the official poster for the movie because the trailer's coming out Saturday morning.
Yep,
that's when they're gonna drop the trailer for Aquaman. So just let's go down the line. Thoughts and opinions. Well, you guys excited for this movie? What do you guys think about that?
Fuck yeah,
that freaking thing. Let's just go down the line. You know what? I'm gonna start with Jeff because he's all the way on the left over there.
Okay.
And then we'll work down.
I am. Oh. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're over there quiet. You should have your head down.
Nah, you know what? I just hope the movie is good, man. I just hope it's good because if not, that's it for DC.
That's my fear too, man. Yeah, that's my fear. I feel like that DC's gonna be in the back burner, big time.
Exactly.
DC's been in the back burner. What are you talking about?
Recently.
Well, hopefully this movie is good and bring them closer to the front.
Yeah.
I don't know about the front, maybe the middle.
Hopefully.
All I know is if this movie does bad, it's probably bad for DC, and it's definitely bad for me. I'll be going dark for a month if this movie bombs. I'm just letting everybody know because I don't want to hear it from a certain somebody. And
you already go dark every day. What are you?
You go dark every day. You're not even on now.
God, man. What about you? What do you think?
What do you think?
Who?
You.
Who's you?
You about the movie, man.
You
I said,
too?
Manny, what do you think?
I didn't hear you. These cocksuckers is talking over you.
Go ahead.
Nah, I mean, it's Aquaman. He's a good hero, Let's see what happens. He likes fish.
He likes
fish and chips.
Talks to fish.
Oh Lord.
Fish and chips, maybe a little shark meat. Yeah. No, seriously though, this movie. Oh man, I think it's gonna be okay. I think it'll be fine. I mean, it's not gonna be no Wonder Woman, but I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good for DC.
Hopefully.
And Jason, what's his name? Jason Momoa. He's a decent actor. Not one of those best actors out there, but he's decent. So
not only that, it's the director. James Wan is a very accomplished director. He has dealt with big, huge franchises. Fast and Furious people. He made one of those.
Yeah.
He started literally a film studio called Lionsgate for his Saw franchise. If it wasn't for that franchise, that movie studio wouldn't exist.
Yeah, Lionsgate is popular.
And he's been doing great with Warner Brothers with the Conjuring series and the Insidious and stuff and everything like that. Yeah. So he knows how to do this. And this trailer was he was still fixing it up to get it ready this weekend. So he's not rushing this. And they're not bugging him.
They're not at all. Yeah.
And I think this is going to be a good film.
You heard what he did with Warner Brothers, right? He told them straight up, let me do this movie my way. That was the smartest thing he ever did.
I think so. And I think they gave him that because they seen what The Conjuring has done for Warner Brothers and all those other things that he has done. So I think that's why they gave him the leeway. He's a very accomplished director. He knows what he wants to do, and he knows what to show.
They needed to do that, man.
Come
on.
They needed a director like that.
League blocking. Fucking come on, man.
What do you think, Marty?
We're having, if you guys are noticing, man. I think DC. What I like that DC's not doing is they're not trying to follow in the path of Marvel. Okay, they're doing their own thing. That's great. Okay, DC I believe, has learned its lesson from the past films. And I think you can only go up from there. And I think because they've learned their lesson, I think it's going to get better. First of all, of course, you got Aquaman standalone movie coming up, right? Then you have Wonder Woman 2 that's going to be coming up as well. And then there's also, you've got Billy Batson with Shazam coming up, right? And then, of course, now that The Rock is going to do Black Adam, of course, that's going to be in the past, but I believe there's talk about a lot of other cameos coming up in these movies to lead up to future movies. Of course, probably a Superman cameo, as well. So they're definitely leading up. I think they're on the right path when it comes to this. I think they can only go up for this. One thing I believe, Marvel has it. Marvel is on track. They know what the fans want. They're doing a great job. I think now DC realizes, well, we haven't been listening to the fans. What have we not been doing that Marvel's been doing, right?
Listening to the fucking CEOs and letting them take over your fucking franchise. That's what they're not doing.
I think DC's learning from this, man. I think DC's is gonna make a good comeback. Now, are they gonna ever?
No, they're not gonna match
Marvel or anything. Absolutely not. I don't think so. Marvel's been doing this for a long time, and they set the bar high when it comes to this. DC came in late on the game. They were trying to play catch up, which was probably the biggest mistake they did, was trying to play catch up with that. And now look what we get, right? We get some great CGI. We got some good actors.
Oh God.
We got some great cinematography. But storyline, as we know, sucks cock, man.
And that's the worst part. That Marty, you said it. You pinpointed it. The actors that are playing the characters are the best actors for those characters.
Yeah,
like Henry Cavill, Superman is he's Superman. Wonder Woman is Wonder Woman. The guy who they picked, Jason Momoa is Aquaman. If they could just stop trying to play catch up, or just do their own thing. Don't worry about Marvel's too far ahead already.
Way too far.
They're in the $1 billion already. You can't do for that. You just got to go one movie at a time.
Listen to your fans, man. Listen to your fans. Fans know what they want because the majority of what's going to make that money for you and what's going to give you those wonderful ratings and those reviews about the movies are going to be your fans. So they're going to tell you what they want, and if you don't listen to that, you're bound to fail. Right? Yeah. I think they're starting to understand that. Now they're playing not catch up with Marvel, but they're playing catch up with their fans now. So they're going to learn that. And unfortunately, they had to learn the hard way, because you've seen a lot of these interviews with a lot of these actors, and they know it sucked. Here's the thing. They know it sucked.
Yeah.
Going back, a lot of actors know that. They, especially, my hat's off to Ryan Reynolds, man. And Deadpool.
Oh God.
My hat's off to Ryan Reynolds. The last scenes of that movie just basically told you, and even some of the things when he broke the fourth wall in the movies, it's obvious that he listens to the fans. He understands what the fans want, and because he's joked about it, Yeah. Small.
I never laughed so hard in my life seeing those, especially the Green Lantern one.
It was amazing, especially that part when he kills Ryan Reynolds at the end and says, "Thank you, Canada," because of the Green Lantern.
I know.
And he goes back and kills the other Deadpool that was in the Wolverine movie, right?
Yeah,
so
an abomination.
So they know. I mean, they these actors, they understand what the fans want.
Yeah.
But that's the mistake, which leads me back to what Kathleen Kennedy's been doing, man. Started with her, man. She totally ruined this whole Star Wars universe for me, man.
We're gonna get to that, Mark. I know that's gonna be a topic.
How long do you want to be on for tonight?
I know. I'm gonna ask him about that, because I know Marty's one of the biggest Star Wars fans out there. But
before we move on, let me just say, I just saw Ant-Man today, and actually for a sequel, it was pretty good and it was funny.
Yeah, that shit was a good movie. Yeah, it was.
It was a good movie.
I enjoyed it very much.
It was good.
Yeah.
Ant-Man was really, really fun.
That post-scene credit, was dope.
That was nice.
Yeah, the mid credit scene.
Credit scene was kind of stupid.
I told you about that. Don't even stay for that.
Yeah, I didn't. I got the fuck up and left.
Yeah, it was a waste of time.
I thought it was cute.
But just real quick, just to add to what Marty was saying, real quick, did you guys see the trailer for Teen Titans Go?
Yes.
Yes, I did. That shit was good, man. I want to see
how you see how DC chat got back at Marvel for that stuff they pulled. They were calling Deathstroke Deadpool. And he was like, "Wait a minute, I was out before Deadpool." Nah, bro, you're Deadpool. He's like, "No, I could have sworn I'm older than Deadpool."
I'm gonna call something right now. I have a feeling that movie, like Teen Titans Go cartoon, which I know a lot of kids want to go see.
Yeah.
I will too.
I got a feeling it might make more than the Justice League.
No, I don't think
Oh yeah, cartoon films in the summer. Forget about it.
It's gonna make good money, but it's not gonna.
I can almost think. I think it might be how much. You know what? When we get to that point, we'll see.
Yeah, it might win an Academy Award.
No, I don't think it's gonna win the Academy.
It's gonna win a Kids' Choice Award.
I think it's gonna make. I think it's gonna make more. Or at least close to it.
Before we move on to the next topic, when it comes to the Aquaman thing, I just wanted to say, I had a different picture in my head of what that movie was going to look like. Seeing Snyder's little things about Aquaman and all that, I had a total different picture of how that movie, and I wasn't too excited about it. I didn't think of the movie as the way they're showing it to you now. Like, when you watch the old cartoons from the 60s, Super Friends, and they show like the Aquaman parts or whatever, it's heavily on ocean animals and beasts and all that.
Right.
And
nobody else.
I kind of forgot about that while we was watching the whole Justice League crap and everything that was going on. And James, the director, brought it back to that, where this is going to be a heavily in the ocean, heavily in the trenches. Like you're gonna see, a lot of sea creatures, and you're gonna see like a lot of like marine life in the movie.
Good.
You're gonna see.
It kind of reminded me, like, wait a minute, they're right. That's Aquaman.
Yes.
Aquaman can he can talk to the great white shark and the killer whales and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a visually probably stunning movie.
It's
going to talk to Flipper. Flipper's going to be in the movie. He's going to make a special
That's the cameo right there, Flipper.
Hey, call me Flipper. Anyway, oh Lord! But one of the fucking things that they're doing right is that they're putting in what works for the Aquaman universe. You got Mira, you got Ocean Master, and of course you got Black Manta, and you put them in, and you get this story the right way, which I think they can do. I think it's going to be good, and I don't think they're doing that air bubble bullshit that they did in Justice League. I think you're going to actually. I think they're actually going to be in water, and you can hear them talk. No air bubble bullshit. So,
well, we'll see Saturday. The first trailer will drop. So,
nice.
Yeah, it's probably going to be
Saturday. Yeah,
that trailer is going to drop.
Oh yeah, because this weekend is San Diego. Yeah, Hall H and all that.
All over
but did you guys saw that quick picture they show? It's like they straight out from the comic where he's like got his trident and everything in the whale.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He changed everything about him. Even the trident that he used in the Justice League movie is not the trident that has the power. Is different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the vibe for this movie, he said, is going to be Indiana Jones type vibe, where they're going to be adventurous, relics, things like that.
Backstabbing from his brother and all this other stuff, and then dealing with Manta with his.
And they're going through. It's going to be loosely based on the New 52 run, Jeff Johns runs, when they trying to unite the 7 kingdoms of Atlantis and all this stuff. And they already showed some of them how they look. More involved
and it makes sense to do that, because that was the story that brought Aquaman back into footing with the comics, because he never really held on to his series real good. And what Jeff Johns did with that character, just like he did with all the characters that brought him back, Flash, Green Lantern, and now Aquaman, and he nailed it. And it made I didn't think it made everybody get interested in Aquaman again. He wasn't the running joke anymore. Hell, he made fun of himself. He was eating seafood in the first fucking comic.
Yeah.
So
they definitely changed the whole outlook on Aquaman. You know, I think they're doing a good job, especially the actor they've got and his character and how he speaks and his demeanor about everything. I think that's definitely because for a long time, Aquaman, you know, you know, and I know you love Aquaman, Marky. But, you know, but for a while now, man, it's, you know, it wasn't what we're getting right now. So
I am still a little skeptical of it, but I'm happy. If it wasn't for that director that's on it, I would be worried as fuck right now. I'm being real friggin' honest.
Would you like to have an old school Aquaman? I mean, would you rather have? I mean, as big as a fan as you are when it comes to him,
I'd rather do the New 52 storyline. I think it's more grounded to him, and it actually made him a better character than he was used to back in the day and all the other things, because he was just on the teams. Then he had his own stories, and they were good. I mean, some of it was dark, some of it was corny, some of it was, you know, in between and everything. But, you know, the way that, like I said, what he did in the New 52, I just liked it more. It was more grounded.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing. They're actually emulating the New 52 Aquaman for the standalone movie. So I'm interested in seeing what that goes. You know?
Marco 808. Yes, the Grant Morrison. Yeah, that was good. There was a couple of good runs, but it never really stuck. But what, you know, like with New 52, it just that whole run that Jeff Johns did when Jeff Johns kind of left and went, you know, but I just liked it. And, you know, I just hope so. Hey, all I ask is for a good movie. If you make a good movie, word of mouth happens and everybody goes sees it. That's it. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do.
That's true. All right. So, you know, next thing I wanted to talk about is, I know we mentioned a few minutes ago, you know, Marty is probably one of the biggest, you know, Star Wars fans I know. Always been a good Star Wars. You know, he's always been about Star Wars. You can see behind him everything's Star Wars.
Are you sure about that, man?
You know, I've heard so many different opinions on Star Wars. You know, some negative, some positive. It depends. But you know, I haven't spoken to you about it. I'm curious. You know, like, what did you think about, you know, this first the Solo movie? That's the most current one. Like, what are your thoughts and opinions on that movie? What do you think?
Well, let me get this out of the way first. First of all, it wasn't great. All right. Secondly, it wasn't good. And finally, I think it was okay. Okay. They had some good run back scenes and explained a few things about Solo that I think everybody was curious about, you know, and they brought out the Millennium Falcon, which was the Corellium ship, and how it lost its pod, which we got to the Millennium Falcon, what we see now. Overall, graphics were stunning. Visualization was stunning. Great CGI. Overall storyline, I thought sucked. I thought, you know, the actor who played Han Solo, I think they could have got a better actor to do that. I didn't necessarily care for it. It was good. It was okay, I guess. I mean, okay, not good, but the problem that I'm seeing with a lot of these movies now is that, okay, George Lucas sold it to Disney, put it in the hands of Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy is not listening to her fans, is not listening to her directors, she's doing her own thing, and got to this point where they've even asked her to step down because of that. Okay. And she's of course is not going to step down at this point in time. I even felt the last Star Wars movie was a bit feminist, to be honest with you. It, you know, and nothing against, you know, feminism or anything like that, but you're talking about a universe that is multicultural, multi-race, multi-species, and you name it. Okay. But and then we've seen the pictures with Kathleen Kennedy saying that the Force is female. I mean, so overall, I just think that she is doing a horrible job of not allowing a lot of the writers and the creators and the actors and everybody and the directors to bring out what we want in Star Wars. Okay. the storylines are okay, and it's got to a point now where they, you know, a lot of these standalone movies and that are supposed to be happening in the future. For example, Obi-Wan Kenobi, one of my favorite characters, man. And when I heard that Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to have a standalone trilogy, man, and I was just like, holy cow, this is amazing. This is something I've been waiting for a long time. But now they're putting all that stuff on the back burner right now because they're going to put all their resources on the next Star Wars 9, you know? Just to make sure that they try to get it right. Who knows where it's going to go from there, to be honest with you, man. Overall, I'm a little pissed off, man. At first, I thought, okay, shit, Lucas, he's putting it in the hands of Kathleen Kennedy, and, you know, maybe he trusts her enough that she's going to continue on with this legacy. But my God, guys, really, I mean, am I the only one here that sees this? And some of the things that we saw in the last Star Wars, man, you know, totally went against what some of the things we've learned in the previous Star Wars. For example, you know, light speed, man, and, you know, light speed, and she hits those other ships and just, oh, come on, man. We know light speed overall was supposed to be where you go through a wormhole and you end up on another side of a wormhole, you know, and well, this one where light speed gets put into the mix and it crashes through ships. I mean, that's terrible for all the rest of the ships that are on in the Star Wars universe, man. You know, so there's a lot of things that contradict to a lot of the science, I guess, if you would say, of the Star Wars universe, man. I can go on, man. With the rest of this. The only thing I'm really happy about right now is Star Wars Rebels, man. And, you know, come on. and be honest, man, that's canon too. And the comic books are canon too. You know,
and a lot of the fandom, they watch the movies, they don't watch Rebels. So they're asking questions like, oh, what happened with Darth Maul? You know, if you watch Rebels, you already know that Darth Maul was already murdered by Obi-Wan again, a second time.
Right.
You know, he's already dead. You know, he killed him a second time in Tatooine. A lot of little things that happen in Rebels. You know, the true Star Wars fans that they watch everything. That's how they know what's going on in Rebels. But I've talked to a lot of people that don't know what you have to watch Rebels to know what's going on. Like,
and you have to read the comics to understand some of the smaller things. And we're talking about the recent comic books that are now coined canon, thanks to Kathleen Kennedy, who says now that, you know, the legends are no longer canon because they're starting a whole new universe. Well, that's fine. That's not a problem. However, you know, you kind of still want to stick to a few things. Like, I understand some of the fans that, you know, that don't, well, some of the Star Wars movie watcher fans, I guess you could say that. Not anybody who kind of goes a little bit deeper, like, for example, in the Rebels and the comic books and some of the novels and everything. They don't get too much in that. So they don't know that when Obi-Wan Kenobi, Padawan Kenobi, killed Darth Maul, that he didn't really die, right? That's fine. But if you're going to do that, let's tailor some of the movies where a lot of these people who are just moviegoers and movie watchers are going to understand just based off movies, as opposed to going like me. Yeah, like you know, Manny.
I don't read that shit.
Yeah, you don't read that shit, man.
I just like the Star Wars movies, but, you know, it's too much. It's too much fucking to take in, man.
Like, you know, and that goes to say for anything, like for, you know, with the DC movies and with the Marvel movies and everything. And a lot of the moviegoers, they're not going to understand the little minute Easter eggs that come about and the certain sayings and the certain antics and jokes that they make in the movies, that if you refer back to the comic books, then you know, the typical comic book nerd is going to understand a little bit more, you know. But I like the way that Marvel does it. They do it where people can understand that, and people can just watch the movie and follow along without even having to refer back to the comic books, if that makes any sense. And DC's doing a good job with that too.
Yeah, they do. You know, Marvel doesn't follow the comic book. Well, now the comics follow the movies. So it's reverse roles basically when it comes to Marvel. Like a lot of their movies now going to dictate how their comic books are done, which is a good thing because their movies are billion-dollar franchises now. So why wouldn't you want to do it that way?
And remember, they didn't have the rights to the movie, to the characters, so they couldn't do it like the comic.
Yeah, they couldn't exactly. We didn't have all the rights there, so they can't do. We say, oh, they should have done it the way they did in the comedy. You can't do it because you don't have rights to the X-Men. You don't have rights to the Fantastic Four. You can't do the Illuminati yet because you'll be changing what's already canon.
Do you think that helped them because they didn't have all the rights to certain characters that they had to change up the story?
Yeah,
it made it different.
It made them think out the box. It made them think.
It made it different. Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of things like some of the writers they want to put into the new Star Wars, but they can't do because it's already been told in Legends. So and they can't do that. Like I mean, I know I kind of rambled on and I ranted about the whole Star Wars universe and everything, but to be honest, I'm very disappointed, man. I'm very disappointed, and it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with wanting to see any type of change in the universe. But if we understand George Lucas's vision of Star Wars, man, it's about evil, good versus evil, and then good triumphing at the end, and everything's happy, everything's good, and then now we've taken it to a whole nother level where it's become what we have right now because of Kathleen Kennedy. And now I'm starting to think that, well, shit, man, maybe you should have fired some of your directors, man, and maybe you should have listened to them as opposed to somebody who's going to, I guess, kiss your ass and say, okay, yeah, we're gonna do it your way, Kathleen.
Well, I to be honest, now I can't even. To me, I don't have a problem with the whole thing being feminist and stuff. To me, I don't really care about that. What I care about is more consistency in the story. So you had J.J. Abrams, he created he started with these new characters, Rey, Finn,
and he played it safe.
Kylo. And he played he did. He played safe. It was kind of a loosely retelling of Hope.
Star Wars.
But it still felt like Star Wars. It was new characters, and he left intrigued to them. He left you thinking like, damn, I wonder where this is from. He left you questioning stuff. So it made you look forward to the next movie. Then Ryan Johnson went, and then he destroyed everything that J.J. Abrams created.
Yep.
And not only did he destroy, he buried it to the point where now, how are you going to do the third movie? Like, what is this third movie going to be now?
Well, hold on.
There's another thing that I think too, and I'm sorry to cut you off, man.
Let's go, man.
No problem.
With that said, there's no character development, man. And we saw that even in Abrams' Star Wars when he brought in Kylo, and he brought all these other characters in, man. All of a sudden, Rhett, she has this great power force that she's used out of nowhere, and then there's no character development in that, man. I think they just did overall a horrible job, and then we got Finn, with his antagonist, and in the second movie, he's already kicking her ass and pushing her down,
waste of a character too. She's a very good. Phasma was a good character.
I wouldn't be surprised if she comes back in the third one, but when you do character development, man, okay, he maybe in the second one he goes and he fights her, and then kicks his ass again, and then as the character develops more and he learns to be more of a badass in the next episode, that's where they have their ultimate stand to, where he's developed himself as a better fighter, as a better character, and he's learned how to be, I guess, a better person, and then eventually whoops her ass. That's just for one example.
Well, Marty, that was the whole plan. Like, this is like behind the scenes for Star Wars. J.J. Abrams, when he did the first one, he had the trilogy all set up. He wanted to develop Finn, almost like the way you said it. He wanted to develop Rey and the rest of them. But then when after he did the first one, this other director took it, and he was like, I'm just going to do what I want. I'm not going to follow the path you were doing. I'm just going to do it my way. And that was screwed up Star Wars. That's why they kept on saying. That's why Kylo kept on saying, "Forget the past, forget the past, forget the past."
What you said, man?
Yeah, but there's too many fucking directors. You got a director for every fucking movie.
A different one every time.
Yeah, every time there's a new director. Why the fuck you doing that for? Why you want to give everybody a piece of the pie? Because everybody loves.
Basically, that's
Star
exactly
Wars
why.
And they
Gotta be a little bit more consistent with shit, you know.
Come on, man. Because you're not gonna get consistency.
They're not. They're not. And it's too late. I believe it's just too late in the game. And no matter how they make 9, and even if the fans decide that they do like 9, and the story somehow gets back on track, they still ruined it with 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they ruined it with 7. They most
more 8.
Everything more 8 than anything.
More 8
because 8 you had an opportunity to explain a couple of things. You could explain more about Rey's
fucked that up. Yeah.
They could explain more. I like that they were explaining the Luke and Kylo situation, but what they did with Luke in that film and made him just like, nah, fuck it. I mean, really? Fuck it? You know, I'm okay. All right, whatever. Drink some blue milk. Have fun.
Ray, this whole
ridiculous.
All in 7.
Snoke, that whole thing with Snoke, that's a wasted storyline. You know, I would have liked to know how the hell.
It's a waste of a character.
Waste of a character. I mean, there's a lot of things I did not like about that film. And let's not forget Leia floating in space and flying into the ship. What the fuck? I'm sorry. That one really.
Let me tell you, those things I really don't care about. The Leia floating or whatever, because when it comes to the Force, you can't put a limit on it, or you can't say, well, you can't do this, because anything that could be written added to the Force could be added. So you know what I'm saying? It was just about how, okay, like Jeff the Geek said, how are they gonna write her out of the next movie now because she passed away? Are we gonna see something stupid like a hologram? Come on.
No, they're probably going to do a time jump like years later, and the Queen's dead.
She already died, yeah.
And the Queen's dead, and we're at the funeral.
How about Rey, man? There's so many inconsistencies with Rey that this whole 7 and even beginning of 8, we're thinking, okay, who is Rey's parents? Where does she come from? How does she fit in this whole thing? And then, well, you're nobody. And then maybe later on, they might change that up because that's basically what the whole 9 is going to be about. We put this in your face and we're going to make you believe that this is one thing, but guess what? Oops, here's another thing. We totally screwed you on that one again. And and then now Rey might be. I mean, come on, man. This is ridiculous.
My favorite character for the last 2 movies is Poe.
Poe Danvers, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I think he's like more consistent character in the both Star Wars movies.
He was just abused in this movie. They should have like why keep the plan from him? You know what I mean?
When Solo died in 7, it broke my heart. It really did. It broke my heart to see that. But I didn't feel enough emotion that such a beloved character like Solo died like that. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. I felt it because when Chewbacca yelled the way he did when that happened, you felt that a little bit. Because
what about
that shit in your stomach, right?
Not only that, you had it in the back of the mind. The only reason why he did that fucking film is because he said, I want to be killed in this one. That was, in the back of your head. That was the only reason why he did
what about Chewbacca, man? I mean, this Chewbacca's been with him for so long, and all he gets is a scene that he yells and he's sad a little bit when he's back on the ship, and then let's go fight. I mean, come on. To me, it just didn't look devastating enough.
Your own son killing you wasn't devastating enough. I thought that was pretty fucking cold.
They did a horrible job with bringing that up, man. I just think they did a horrible job. I think they could have added more emotion to that, man, and especially for Chewbacca, who was such a that was his best friend, man. And I believe they did that injustice, to be honest.
Yeah. So real quick, I just want to address the chat because we've gotten more people in the chat real quick. Shout out to Count Von Strange, Pop.Comics, Lord of the Long Box, who else? Miss Hustle, Cholula's Comics, Seeking Themyscira, Chris Mason, J. Rod Ham, Jeff the Geek, BXPR Collector, Pope Cerebus the First, and who else? I just want to make sure. Oh, AG Surfer and Mr. D. Thanks for joining us, guys. The Skywalker story needs to end. Time for new characters. I do agree for new characters. Tim says the Skywalker story needs to end. Time for new characters. I was into the whole new characters, but the way they're developing them, I just not interested in them too much anymore.
Not only right, dude, you did. I'm sorry, Luke was done dirty. I'm sorry. I did not like the way he died. I did not like how the way they teased us for the big finale fight, because we all knew there was going to be a fight with him and Kylo Ren, and I thought that was garbage. I thought that was fucking garbage.
I was ready to see a freaking MMA fight, man. That was
right. Well, not an MMA, but a good battle.
Yeah, a good freaking battle that was going to be kind of left you like, holy cow.
Yeah, and I liked Finn in The Force Awakens. I liked the way Finn's character was. I found his character funny. I enjoyed it.
Right.
I think he was good. I think he was done well.
That's what I'm saying. You got introduced to these new characters, and I thought we were going to get a little bit more on them, and we got a little bit more on some, and nothing on the others, and more confusion. Oh, let's not forget the Star Wars Casino Planet, which they're building probably in Las Vegas right now. So if you hurry up, you can go down there and bet your fucking dark side over there. So go right ahead.
Bet your dark side, stupid. Oh man.
Characters. You're going to get different characters. That's not it. I don't think that's the biggest issue with the Star Wars universe. It's not having new characters into Star Wars and having a whole new different storyline with the new characters. That's not the biggest thing. The biggest thing is how they're developing the characters and how
biggest thing is mom.
Not only that, I'm going to go one more and that's it. Benicio del Toro's character, wasted character. It made no sense. The guy that, they had that Finn was getting help with the stuttering and all that stuff. That guy was just a wasted actor, wasted talent for that type of character. You could have got any Joe Bag of Donuts to play that character. You didn't need a caliber actor playing him. It was such a wasted thing. That whole storyline just didn't make any sense. It didn't fit in the film. It really didn't.
So we'll see what the next movie holds.
I know Joe and his bag of donuts.
We all critique it, but the bottom line is that are we going to see the next movie?
We're all going to see the next one.
I'm going to go see it. I'm going to see how
we got to see what's going on. Yeah, we got to see how this goes.
It's just like the prequels, guys. We went through this with the prequels, and we suffered, and we went to the end, and I actually think the third one was better than all the prequels.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to watch it, man. Of course I'm going to watch it. What kind of Star Wars fan are you if you're not going to watch it? That's right. You've got to come out of it saying either you hate it or you loved it.
Exactly. You got to critique it regardless. And that's the whole point.
How can you have a viewpoint about something
without
actually talk intelligently about something if you haven't even seen what the whole movie is going to turn out to be? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
You can't just sit there. I'm not going to watch this whole movie because I hated everything else. No, it doesn't work that way.
Oh, arigato, moshi, Eli.
Arigato.
Oh, Mr. Roboto, how are you doing, sir?
All the way from Japan.
We got Eli all the way from Japan. What's going on, bro?
Oh, we can't hear him.
Oh, we can't hear you, man.
We can't hear you, man.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what it is? When I put my hand on the bottom of the phone, it covers the speaker.
Covers the mic, yeah.
Yeah. So
how's it going over there?
Everything's going good, guys. I'm over here waiting online for lunch, and my next class is until 1:00. So,
shit, what time is it over there now?
It ain't free. What time is it there? It's like if it's like 10:00, then it's like 11 over here.
It's 10:47 here.
Yeah, so it's
like
11 in the morning over there.
It's an hour. It's like 13 hours difference. So it's like an hour if it was like nighttime. I guess.
Eli, if you don't mind me asking, man, what are you doing in Japan?
Studying language and business over here.
Oh wow.
So Yeah.
Nice,
How you
man.
doing, Marty? I hear you. Oh, we don't see from you or nothing in a long time.
Hey man, come on, man. You know, just because you guys don't see me or you don't hear from me doesn't mean I'm not in the background. I still watch people's YouTube channels. I still watch people's videos about their what is it called, their runs and their everything else. Like when you guys do your shows. And when you guys do like your auctions and stuff, I still watch all that, man. I'm still in the background, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool,
Just,
guys.
yes, and I want to set the record straight with that, man. Just because I'm not up front anymore like this, I'm just. I still love you guys, man. I'm still, part of
No, yeah, we people don't know. We still talk to Marty in the chat.
Fucking man.
Yeah, we still talk to Marty in the group chats and stuff like that. It's not.
Yeah, he still send them gay ass pictures.
Yeah, there's some questionable photos there, Marty. That's all I'm saying.
At first, okay, it was with my tranny pictures I was sending you guys. However, I kind of had to mix that up for you guys a little bit,
Mix it up, Jesus
Mix it
Christ,
up,
Marty.
yeah.
What the fuck?
Leave those shits alone.
Jesus.
You gotta get a virus on your computer.
I know, man. I mean, my phone feels like it's violated when whatever you
His
say.
phone, his fucking computer.
Eli, NES Master said, "How's the future?" Because you're in the future right now.
Oh yeah,
No,
no,
into
future's
the
great.
future.
That's
No,
true.
future's great.
I don't
You got
think
that PlayStation 10
man.
over there?
I don't think the viewers know about the whole pictures and things offline that I be sending you guys, man. But
Nah, nobody knows about that.
No.
let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
But Eli, to
Too
change
late.
the subject, Eli, how the comic shops over there?
There's like none.
None. Wow.
No. I mean, there's like, manga like at the 7-Elevens. So you can like go to 7-Eleven and pick up like Dragon Ball and all that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, but it's all you can't read it though.
But the king of the bootlegs, don't they have bootleg comics or something like that they copied? Copy
No,
everything.
What are you talking about?
It's dirt cheap over here. Like, they have like, all the Jump magazines and all the different manga, whatever. I mean, and they're not that expensive over here.
And I guess the anime is huge as usual over there.
Yeah, it's huge everywhere over here. You go to,
they got a lot of video games, right?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
A lot of video games.
Akibahara over here. It's freaking video game and anime central.
Nice.
Did you go to book off?
I went to like 20 book offs. Y'all gonna be amazed at what like the haul I found. Like I found stuff so cheap out here. Like
all right.
It's ridiculous.
Nice. Can't wait. Yeah, do a video when you come back.
Word.
At book off or no? Like American
Book
stuff?
off is like dirt cheap over here compared to the States. In the States, they're wilding on. So.
Good. I'm glad.
No, you've been training over there. You've been taking any bumps over there.
Yeah, I'm training over here too. Wrestle one. They're having a rookie tryout. They invited me to do that. I don't know if I'll be selected, but if I get picked, then the day before I leave, they're holding a competition. So I'll see what happens.
Dope, bro.
Nice. I seen you caught a kickboxing fight too. How was that, dude?
Oh yeah, that was great. The matches were kind of fishy because like nobody got knocked out like at all the whole show. So it was crazy, but otherwise it was good.
Awesome.
They were beating the crap out of each other.
That's cool. So I wanted to address something in the chat. I kind of saw an article, but I didn't read it. I saw the headline. There's something going on in Shira.
Yo, who's playing with them?
That's playing the lottery or the slot machine.
Where the chicken did? Oh, don't say that down there, man. They might have.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's going on? Because I saw Tim asked you to talk about She-Ra, and then you was
okay. Everybody was excited because they were going to bring She-Ra on Netflix. She's getting her own show. which is great.
Well, a cartoon or a live show?
No, it's a cartoon. Right? And so they show what She-Ra looks like. They made her younger, too young. And that what she was look like. Now, if you ask me, I said that looked like a boy cosplaying as a girl. All right, I'm sorry. That looked like a boy. That does not look like She-Ra. And then I said, I hope the story is at least. I hope at least the story is good. And TiVo just seemed like he lost his shit because we all know the story of She-Ra, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm thinking if Netflix did this, I have my doubts about the story.
You guys, you know, you got to look at this stuff and you got to be like, okay, back in the 80s, when they made those cartoons, they made those cartoons for kids. But at that time, there was no filter on sexualizing these characters. So they drew them with like the extra, high skirt, the bigger breast, more cleavage. Those things are not acceptable anymore in today's, for kids.
Nothing's acceptable no more. They took
it's
all
not.
the fun out.
It's not. They don't do it. So when you guys see these remakes, you guys think that it's for you. It's not for you. That's the remake.
It's for the new,
It's for my 7-year-old son to watch and my 11-year-old daughter. Not for a 50-year-old man. So for what it is, it's okay. You gotta open your mind to that stuff. Like that's how what the hell are you doing watching fucking She-Ra, you 50-year-old freak?
First of all, I am not 50. Second of all,
you're almost
She-Ra is the closest thing you can get to Shoki. Shoki number 1, She-Ra number 2.
Oh Lord.
All right, I love my strong women. Okay?
Well, she look like a man in the books too now, so it's all right.
And you know what? A lot of the websites and on Facebook and on Instagram, a lot of the fans, they need to I understand certain things you want to keep it a certain way, but you got to remember these are not geared for us, man. It's not made for us. They're not gonna make any money with us. They're gonna make money with the new generation of kids. You understand? So they want to show. They want to make a story, okay, of She-Ra. She could be She-Ra, but she don't have to be this big-breasted, high-skirt woman, girl.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
I understand that. I understand
that's facts,
that,
bro.
But you take a quick look at this. Does that look like a boy or girl to you?
Yeah, well, you already know what age we're in. It doesn't matter what gender she is. It doesn't matter. It's not. You don't need to question that.
You already know what's trending right now.
Yeah.
And transgender, that's trending.
It's about damn time, man. That's all I can tell you, man.
Yeah, I know you like that shit. Every show, listen, every show on TV
I got nothing.
has a gay.
Hey, even AG said, "Hey, Biggie, speak for yourself."
Yo, every superhero show that's on TV right now, there's somebody that's gay on the show. You never saw that shit back when we was growing up. Any shows they had like one gay person in the show is either some gay or no gay. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's not like there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's
nothing wrong with that. No, it's just the way the times are, and that's it.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm all for it, but let it do it naturally. Don't force it on us. It doesn't work when they force it on you.
I honestly don't think it's being forced on the generation that now. I think if anything, it feels forced on us. It's not actually being forced on us. It feels forced on us because we didn't grow up in a generation like that, like the kids are growing up now. True. That's very normal for them.
Yeah, just like that Thundercats one too. Remember?
Thundercats
one that's coming out. The new one that shit looks fucking retarded. Is it?
That shit do look retarded.
Comedy.
And you got to remember too, they tried to do a Thundercats for us. They did it a few years ago, which
it was good.
We thought it was great, but it's
good.
not enough of us watching it for them to merit another season. So they took it a different route. Because it's not going to be enough of us. Even though we think it's going to be the coolest thing ever, it's not enough of us. There's more kids than us. And so they're the ones that are going to bring, they're almost home every day.
Yeah, because all the Mexicans are coming down here, so all the kids are here. So you know how when Mexicans have kids, they have
Hey, you guys see, even at conventions, man, the majority of the goers of the conventions, and you can see where how that plays into that as well. You see a lot where it's tailored to a lot of the children of what they go to see. I mean, hell, we don't even see a lot of comic books at conventions now because, you know, they're trying to tailor it to the younger generation and they know it sells. Okay. And then a lot of the us older guys will go to the comic books. We'll go to a lot of the old kind of things that we're used to being able to see and wanting to buy and things like that. But, you know, even the conventions, I mean, Manny, you go to more conventions than anybody that I know because you work at them now. I mean, am I right or wrong when you see?
You're totally right. And if we do see vendors there, everything's overpriced. I mean, it's like a lot of kids. There's always there's always our guys our age, and you see the new generation. Like you even see it in the auctions. You see like people get excited for like what you call that, Biggs? What you call those books?
The new sexy covers. I forgot what I used.
Covers like they have no first appearances in it. It's just the cover, you know. So the newer generation, they get excited for that shit. You see, like us, we get excited because, you know, we're older, so we get excited for like the older books. Or when we see an older guy there, even though that older guy did not, wrote or drew anything, you know, that when we was younger, but they're older, so we're into the older books, so, you know, we buy that. But the younger generation is buying all the new books, you know, all the Scott Snyders, what else? Scotty Youngs, you know, all those guys, and J. Scott Campbell, all these newer generation that's like the new collectors. That's what they want. So when they come to our auction and we have key issues for sale, nobody want to buy that shit, but they right away they go and they fucking buy a stupid ass fucking Adam Hughes cover. The fucking shit is gonna be worthless later on because it's not gonna be worth nothing because there ain't no motherfucking first appearances in it.
Manny, I got a question. Since you work the CBCS booth and everything, how much of the newer stuff do you see get submitted versus the older stuff?
You see a lot of the newer stuff get submitted. Well, signature series, anyways. The signature, so you know, like you know, Scott Snyder's there. That's what gets submitted. But most of the time, if it's the older books, it's gonna not be, you know, they're not gonna be signed. You know, like they just submit them.
Yeah, and a lot of and I've noticed this too. I remember watching one of you guys' show a few months ago, and on the chat portion, a lot of names I did not recognize. You know, so a lot of new people, and you know that have come into the community. A lot of younger and newer collectors and everything. And I see a lot of and I go to their channel and I watch some of what they're showing in some of the books, and they'll show, I guess, first appearances of newer characters or newer books that have the first appearances. You know, not like the older books, like not the Bronze Ages and not the Silver Ages, things like that. So I see a whole different type of generation of YouTube comic book communities of how they collect versus how, I guess, when we started a few years ago of how we were collecting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So and it's developing because you know, and that's why you see a lot of the newer collectors collecting what they collect, and how the conventions are tailored more towards that now, and even the comic books and even the movies and things like that. So that's where it's going. That's
and you know what it is too. Not you know what I kind of a few times I kind of a few times said that about the newer collector, about how they're buying more of books that are just covers, nothing really substantial behind them. But at the same time, the older books are really, they're getting outpriced. They like the price range of these books are getting higher and higher, and they're further. You know, you're not able to reach them as much anymore, and that's a problem also. Like a lot of.
Yeah, I mentioned to Ray a couple days ago because he was telling me about, you know, a couple things, and I was talking to him, and I was talking to Jess. He's a buddy of ours that's in Chicago, and he's an old time collector as well. And we were just talking. I was like, man, has the market lost its fucking mind, or what? You know, the prices of these books. I'm never going to finish my Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1 run the way these prices are. You know, it's just ridiculous. So.
Yeah, maybe if you lower the price on that Fantastic Four book you got on eBay, you might sell that shit though. Yo, that shit been on eBay for like I don't know how many years.
Do I have a book on there?
Yeah, man, that shit is still on there. That Fantastic Four.
What you want? Yeah. What you want, man? What you got for it then? Huh?
$2.
$2. What you want for it, man? Come on, man. Let's work out the deal, Manny.
Make him an offer.
Hey,
good.
They can't refuse.
I told you, man. I haven't. You know, it's been a while since I've actually sold anything. But I did mention Enrique, man. You know, so. Hey, maybe I'll do like another dollar box auction one of these days, man. If you ain't, you know, if you want to do something like that, let me know, man. Let me know.
Yeah, definitely. And the next, like I said, next auction, we haven't set up a date yet of when it's gonna be, but when we do, I'll let you know so that you know in case you want to come on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really appreciate you guys inviting me on this time as well. It was so nice just to kind of allow me to rant because I haven't had anybody to rant to.
No, it's cool, man. It's cool. Marty, do you think we have time to show what books are coming out Wednesday? Do you have that queued up?
If you guys want to, it's kind of a slow week. You know, if you want, it's up to you guys.
Nah, fuck it. End it.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
wait a minute.
He's getting in trouble right now. He's gonna get in trouble.
Wait a minute.
You stop eddying, man. Come on, son.
Maybe we should do the comics because
Hold on 1 second. Let me do this real quick. Actually, I actually fucking do work when I'm at work. I don't sit on my ass. a fucking changing a fucking.
Yo, we just playing, man. You know.
Yeah, I'm just playing too, nigga.
He said, "Yo, hold on.
Hey, man,
we're playing with each other here.
Nah, you the same Manny, man. You gotta love it.
But you know what? I think we should show the comic books because Ray would get upset if we don't show off the Jungle Fantasy that's coming out Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know, Ray gotta have his Jungle Fantasy.
Gotta have his Jungle Fever.
Ray got Jungle Fever? Is that what you said, Ray?
No, there's not.
Oh, that's just too funny.
Oh, it's fucked up, buddy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, new books for the week, gentlemen.
All right, Marty.
So
show us what's coming out this week.
We know the first person Ray's gonna fuck up when he gets home is Marty.
me and Ray are boys, man. You know, plus he might do the whole you know, Asian shit on me anyway. So, you know.
All right, we got Sins of the Father, number 6 coming out.
It's one of those sideways variants. Right? Oh, that's the regular cover.
That is the regular cover.
Isn't that based on a video game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the Telltale games, I believe.
Batman 51 after the whole wedding debacle. Woohoo! Yay!
It's a new story arc, I think.
Yeah.
What is it called? Cold Days.
Cold Days.
Yeah,
well,
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze. No surprise there. Okay. The variant.
Kind of look like you, Marty.
Batman.
Thank you, man. I'm glad you recognized that, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, Batman taking a shit.
Hey, is that a racist comment, man? Because he's kimchi squatting or what, man?
No, he's just taking a shit. What do you want?
Batgirl. Oh god.
Batwoman. You know she's gonna be part of the crossover event. She's gonna be the part of the crossover event for the Arrowverse this season.
Oh yeah.
They're going to Gotham.
Which is I'm looking forward to that. Actually, I want to see how they do all that. So
that cover better than the
Raven the Bold, Batman and Wonder Woman.
That's been pretty good, actually. I haven't read that.
I heard it's been good.
Is Batman gonna tag Wonder Woman?
I think he already did.
After that whole wedding thing, he should.
Yeah, I know. Technically, I think he should. Why not?
I don't think the story arc is canon though.
No, in the Batman comics, Batman and Wonder Woman was trapped in like another dimension.
Yeah.
Time was like it was like 10 years they was in there, while it was only like maybe a year in a regular world. So that's what this.
All right.
Like.
I'm getting out of here.
All right, Manny.
See you guys
All
later.
right, Manny.
All right.
Man.
Marty,
Hardest working man, right there. Peace out.
Peace, brother.
Shut the hell up, Joker.
Yo, make sure they took you in, son.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Damage number 7. I lost my number 7.
Let's see.
All right. Future Quest. Are we even bothering?
Man.
Yeah. All right. Green Lanterns. Okay.
Did Dan Jurgens? Oh, he already did. Look, see, Dan Jurgens took over already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
And, the variant.
You picking that up?
Oh God. You know what? I don't know. Honestly, I'm being honest. I told you guys, I'm really trying to cut down on stuff. As much as I like Dan Jurgens, I may have to skip that one and just read it online or something. Harley Quinn.
I'm only reading 2 books.
Show the Frank Cho cover there.
Of course, I know everybody wants.
See, this is why I love Marty, man. Frank Cho.
Frank Cho.
Love the Cho.
Frank, I love my ladies, man. I love my ladies.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually funny. I like that.
I'll be honest, man. Cho hasn't really been impressive lately, man, with the freaking covers, dude.
He hasn't.
Yeah, he's toned it down.
I agree. There was a lot of. It's either like something
he
like
does better
this.
his commissions.
Right. Yeah. Or he does the black and white silhouettes or whatever like that, or the connecting 3. That's just like I don't know. Looks like they're statues or something, or you know. You know what I'm saying?
It's gotten to the point. You want sexy covers, you go to Xenoscope, man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're not going to find that too much in your Marvels and DC.
No.
I've been picking this up again. You know,
still got it too, brother.
Yeah, no, it's been good. I like Tom Taylor. I like what he does in Injustice, and I cannot wait for this one.
I can't get enough of Injustice, man.
Injustice versus the Masters of the Universe. Oh yeah, it's going down. Evil Superman's gonna kill He-Man. I'm loving it.
Yo, they got him put He-Man in the game.
Yeah, look at this. He looks like he's crying here. What the hell? Like it's
that cover look horrible though. I don't like that cover.
I like this one.
Yeah, the B cover is better.
This one's a little bit better. Little bit better, not great, but a little bit better.
You know they're gonna do an homage to that DC Comics presents.
Yeah, but Tom Taylor is not writing this, so I don't know how good it's gonna be. But I'm gonna pick it up just because I love the Injustice.
Yeah,
for shits and
giggles.
What
I like to see, I love to see a short film of Injustice, man.
A cartoon movie or something
like a fan film, or
right.
Yeah.
Well, we got the game. The game is technically the film. You know, if you see it on YouTube, Injustice 1 and 2. If you edit it all out, you got like a 5-hour film. Technically,
Supergirl. You know, when Supergirl. Yeah. Anyways, watch it. It's good.
It's good. Really good.
Justice League. Ooh.
Justice League. That's whole.
Yeah, I'm picking that up.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are liking this storyline. I hear it's mixed.
It's decent. It's good. It's good. I like it.
But I heard. He actually said issue number 5 is when the Legion of Doom shows up. So I'll maybe pick up because I love the Legion of Doom. I love that cartoon. And then here's the Jim Lee cover. Yeah, Jim Lee cover.
Oh, that's nice.
I've been picking up the Jim Lee variants.
Wasn't very impressed, man. I'll be honest. Jim Lee doesn't really. It looks like he's gotten sloppier throughout the years, man.
Yeah.
He's busier now.
Yeah, it's busy. That's a pencil cover.
Don't get me wrong, I can't do that, but you know, I can't do that, but you know, it's
Challengers, Wild.
Yeah, I mean, he's a busy man, so he do like those phone-in drawings.
All right, let's see, anything interesting on the Image front? Not that I know of. No Walking Dead or anything, right? No.
Not this week.
No. Marvel. Here we go. Avengers volume 7000 and number 5. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, right. It's like freaking Spider-Man Volume 5 now. What the fuck? Dude?
I was like, holy
crazy.
shit, Captain America stole the Batmobile. I'm like, oh, it's Ghost Rider's car. Oh, sorry.
No, what Marvel did a soft reboot. They rebooted all their heroes: Spider-Man, Wolverine, Cap, Thor, Iron Man. They rebooted them all. I think they're going back. They're trying to go back to the old ways.
I don't mean to hold anything up, man, but can anybody tell me why, like the Amazing Spider-Man's, like towards the end before 800, they're going to the second printing, third printing. I can never pick up the first printing. What the hell was going on with that?
Oh, the Red Goblin.
The Red Goblin storyline.
Story arc.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which I didn't even finish reading.
Hard. And then you look at them on eBay right now to try to catch up, and they're freaking ridiculous in price, you know?
Oh, shit, Mounty, you should have said something. We would have gotten it for you when they were around for cover.
No, Mark, you're supposed to read my mind.
I'm supposed to read your mind. All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what, Marty?
You have a bunch of those that didn't sell.
Yeah. No, I sold them all. I got rid of them all.
I still have some.
Well, thanks, Marky. Thanks for
I have a few.
Marty, honestly, I'm going to be dead fucking honest with you. Wait a little bit. They'll be in the dollar bin soon. Really, I'm serious.
Marky, I still have these, man. I mean, you remember these?
I can't see shit.
The X-File figures. The X-File figures.
Oh, my X-Files figures. Awesome.
No, they're my X-Files figures.
Yeah, I know they're yours. I gave them to you. Awesome.
Go ahead, Marky.
All right, hold on. I lost my fucking place here. Hold on one second. Now you screwed up my whole game. All right, here I am. Okay, Darth Vader. Vader, I've been liking. I've been liking the Vader book.
It gets into so much with the storylines and tells you these minute details about the Star Wars universe.
Well, they can't mess it up because they haven't killed Vader. They killed Vader already, so they can't mess it up.
Yeah, all this is in the past.
That's a nice cover right there, man.
Well, it is a nice cover.
Both of them are nice. Both covers are nice.
The covers have been great for the Vader. It's the other one, it's
regular Star Wars is.
I don't I don't deal with the regular.
Wait a minute, this is number 2. They rebooted it again a third time.
No, this is annual
number 2, volume number 2. Yes, they rebooted it again. Believe it or not.
No, it's 2 volumes. I know, but I thought it was a third volume.
But the volume 1 was like a before, and this one's kind of like after Return of the Jedi, kind of like in the beginning and everything.
Fuck it. Yeah. Hey, King of the Golden State, man. I appreciate the comment, brother.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah, he wrote, I just want to take the time to thank you for finding a person that looks like Marty to get on the show.
That's funny.
God damn.
This is the B cover. I actually cut that cover is better than the other one.
The Claws of a Killer.
Yeah. Immortal Hulk. Alex Ross cover. Can't go. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That you got a whole blown one.
Immortal Hulk has been good. Yeah, it has been good.
Yo, the Hulk is a mean one, man.
All right.
Yeah.
No, Jeff, I took your advice. I did get picked up the first one, and I read it, and I kind of
that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Variant cover. Nope.
Nah.
No. That's nothing to do. This is the Hulk book, and there's no. Where's the fucking Hulk?
MODOK is in there.
Oh fuck, MODOK. Oh god.
Who did that? Is that Land?
30th anniversary.
Oh no, it's not.
No.
It's Muhammad. Whatever.
Muhammad Asar.
Infinity Countdown.
Has anybody been reading that?
Nobody is reading that.
No. No, I'm just gonna pass that. I'm just gonna look at all these covers. No, I'm just gonna pass that.
There's another gorgeous art germ cover.
Yes. We'll go to the regular one first.
That's Tedesco Tintino.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, everybody's gonna buy this.
That nice,
look at Supergirl and Captain Marvel.
That's actually, I think, I have that on pre-order, man. If I'm not mistaken, that's already sold out, isn't it?
It's still available online.
It's still available in Midtown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They put, it's the B cover, so they probably ordered more of these because that's what everybody does when he comes out with his covers. Yeah. And then they jack up everything else. This is a Joe Quasar cover.
Quesada,
Quasar, Quazo.
The Quasar.
The Joe Quasar.
They're giving up for
Joe
the
Bag
Captain
of
Marvel
Donuts
movie.
did the cover, okay? Yeah. All right. And no, that's the blank. Sorry, my bad.
Let Eddie get that. Shout out to Eddie.
Shout out to Eddie. Eddie's gonna get the blank cover. All right, if you got $21, you can get this one.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I know. Oh, and
No,
you got
thank you.
$40. You got $42. You can get this one.
It's ridiculous. Here we go again with these variants.
I know, Manny. I know.
But they're like shitty art.
Thank you. That's why I tell them this can go eat a
Like
dick.
back in the day, it used to be like $60, but you got like a Jim Lee
Okay,
cover
here
or
you go.
something.
Here you go. How bad do you want ones without any titles? You want that version cover? This is $85. Joe.
Ridiculous. Even there was a
Those are Midtown prices.
Those
Yeah.
are Midtown prices. $170 for the art germ.
Yeah, well, good luck finding them anywhere else.
variants are going for $125 off the shelf, dude.
Crazy. Marvel here. No, we'll
That would
skip that.
DC's are buying these days.
Old man
Old man
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. Old man Hawkeye.
The market has lost its freaking mind, dude. I'm telling you.
I know. Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man.
That's him and his sister.
Tim is his
Whack-ass
sister.
book.
Well, not technically his sisters, like
Okay.
his blood sister, but
Right.
His
Runaways.
sister from a different mister.
Nah.
he was
Spider-Man.
hypnotized. I believe that's the last issue of Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, it's a homage to the first one, I
first
guess.
appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that book is dark. It's like very noir.
Mm.
They're doing a Silk movie before they even do a Spider-Gwen, aren't they?
Supposedly.
It's not all that popular.
Supposedly, you know what? Until they see something filmed, I won't believe it. Honestly.
No.
Poe Dameron, we were just talking about him.
Good character. Good character.
Mm-hmm. Star Wars. It's a regular Star Wars book. It's still regular. Midtown doesn't want me to load it. There we go. Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
Nice little
These Star
battle
Wars
scene.
stories, they're just so much filler. Like, I don't even
Right,
care.
right.
Like, I
You know,
want
that's
the
why
story to progress.
But that's why
I'm
I like
tired
the
of reading.
Peter one, because you can tell me anything as long as the story's good, because I know how it ends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's interesting to know like some of the other things that they add. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah,
No, that's right. It's right. You have a point.
There we go. Thor. What
Yeah,
the
it's
fuck?
ridiculous.
Hella.
Hella. I like the movie version better. Anyway,
Yeah, that movie. I love that movie. Thor was Ragnarok was
Ragnarok was awesome. Hella
Badass.
badass.
It's
Oh,
on
that's
Netflix right now.
Yeah, it's on Netflix now.
That shit sold out.
Anybody watching Cloak and Dagger?
I didn't watch.
Nope.
I didn't watch it.
I've been watching it. I
Actually,
think it's
I
pretty
kind of
good.
actually like it, man. It's not bad.
It is pretty good.
Not bad for a
Star
teeny bopper.
Garment.
Not bad for a teeny bopper movie, man.
Exactly.
And this is the Mark Brooks variant for Iron
Like,
Man.
love Mark Brooks. Love
Our books is a G.
And then
Yeah.
the True Believer. Look at the True Believers are even selling out, for Christ's sake.
Probably getting that signed by John Byrne.
You won't get nothing signed by John Byrne. You know what you get? You get to eat a dick. That's what you do with John Byrne.
True Believers reminds me of Marvel Tales back in the
That's exactly what it is, Marty.
You know?
Exactly.
And if you guys don't remember Marvel Tales, it's basically the old Spider-Man stories. They just, redid this, and
Yeah.
but they didn't sell out like this ridiculous shit they got going on right now.
They're all selling out. When all the big key issues come out, because no one, even this is why I think, because either the kids have grown, really want to read what it was like reading those types of stories, but they don't got thousands and thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars to spend on these issues, and then so they'll pay $1. They'll pay $1 just to read the story. Seriously. X-Men Gold.
And that's that Phoenix. That's Rachel Phoenix, right? From Excalibur.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
X-Men Gold, X-Men Red, X-Men Blue, Purple,
and later
Rainbow.
on,
It's like fucking Pokemon. You got to pick your fucking X-Men book.
You got to pick your
There's an
X-Men.
X-Men Black book coming out too.
There's an X-Men Black, and then what's the next one? Oh, they got X-Men Blue, so you can have Black and Blue, Gold and Red, Holy shit! Is there a fucking shining star, blue stars, and purple moons, and a fucking leprechaun version coming out? Oh, wait a minute! Wait a minute! Is the
Pokemon
CGC
White Gold
case going to be a variant cover? Oh shit! All right. Anyway,
and that's the Marky Minute.
that's the Marky Minute, and that is your
That's
fucking
it.
comics for the week. Nothing else I can think of. Any?
I want to.
Can't wait till X-Men Leaf Green
I love
comes
my
out.
Xenoscope covers. You know that.
Xenoscope. All right. For Marty, wait a minute. We gotta go to Jungle. We gotta get Jungle Fantasy, Ray. Okay, there you go, Ray. Jungle Fantasy.
I'm gonna tell him you said that, man.
Oh my god. He's gonna come and shoot us.
Ray knows though. Ray is the one that acts in the chat for us to show the Jungle
I
Fantasy.
know.
Yeah, Ray loves it.
You're passing all of his.
I know. I'm getting to the fucking beginning here. Holy shit.
Just
Okay.
passed it. All those grim fairy tales.
There's one.
Oh, beautiful, man.
I guess this is Alice in Wonderland, right?
Now, and you guys, I'll be honest, I am a cover collector when it comes to Xenoscope because the stories are shit, okay? The thing worth is
Nah, but the cover right there is badass. I like it.
See, Mike Chrome is very good. I like all his movies.
He's real. Matter of fact, I've actually got a commission of.
He gave me a price, and I like get the. I can't. It's too much for me, man.
A lot of these Xenoscope artists like Don Matee, E.I. Rufino, Mike Chrome, they will not put pen to paper for less than $300, man.
I know that, and I wish I had $300 to give the man, but I told him
That's
no,
nice.
I can't.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those covers are pretty good. Yeah.
No, they're great. They draw the women good.
It's beautiful covers. If you're into cover collecting, man, especially when it comes to, just like you said, Jeff, your strong women or beautiful, multicolored, Xenoscope's the way to go. I love my Xenoscope covers just mainly for the covers, man. But but I'm not going to pay crazy prices just for artwork on a book, man. I'd rather have it done.
Right.
For big money. I'll pay the $3.99 or whatever, $4 or $5. I'll even pay up to $20 for a beautiful a variant cover. But I rather put pen to paper, man, and have them do something original for me when it comes to a Xenoscope cover.
Not only that, I mean, I just feel like if you're going to make all these covers and put all these prices or whatever these prices that these places are going to charge or not charge, make sure the story is good. Seriously, if you're going to be spending that type of money, make sure the goddamn story is good or something with a. But it seems like every friggin' issue, or every number one, or every major part in the story, they always throw these 10,000 covers and everything like that.
Yeah, Gomez. I thought that was Psylocke also.
It's not just Marvel itself, but they both do it.
Yeah.
And
Yo, shout out to Gomez.
Yeah, shout out to Gomez, definitely. I just feel like I'm going back in the 90s, but I don't think the 90s bubble is going to burst like it did then because they're not, I don't think it's the same way because they have control on their orders and all that.
Yeah, quick, when it comes to the bubble bursting, we was on an off air like a week ago, I think it was, and we spoke to, he mentioned this and he's really right about this. Who was it? Oh, Evan,
okay.
Yeah, on the off air that supply and demand. That once the international market kicks in, there's not going to be enough supply for the demand, so those prices are never going to go down.
Yeah, true.
Because these movies are reaching international stature now. So once this guy from China that owns a fucking company wants his Hulk 181, he's gonna pay whatever price he wants for it,
Sure.
And that's when all these key issues they're gonna skyrocket even more.
Notice Big says Hulk 181, huh?
Yeah, I know. He always has to go with his Hulk 181.
I see that in the background, Enrique.
And I would too.
What's the grade on that, man?
Oh, that's a 8.0 white pages.
Big money grip.
Now, what? No, wait. You want to get E really smiling? Ask him how much he paid for it.
Oh, you never ask a collector how much they paid.
No, seriously, ask him how much.
He'll tell you.
How much you paid for that, brother?
I won I paid $10 for it.
God damn!
He hit on a mini raffle to get into the main raffle, and then he won the main raffle.
God damn, man!
Nice, right?
Yeah. So what luck, right, to have that, right?
Hey, show it off, man.
Show it off, man. Show it off.
There you go, guys. And you know what? It's not that it's just an 8.0.
Put that as a thumbnail.
It's not just it's white pages also. That makes a big difference in this book.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever think you would actually own that big book, man? That's a good book right there.
Yeah, I've never. You know, I had an opportunity. Shout out to Jimmy C. About 3 years ago, he was gonna sell me a 7.5 copy, and he was selling it to me for $1,300 at the time, and that was at market at the time. That was at GPA. Yeah. And I couldn't drop that type of money on there. And I was like, no, I'll get it down the line. And then, you know, what happened throughout the years, the book just kept on crawling up and up and up to the point there where I was like, damn, there's just no way now. The only way I'll ever win this is if I win it off of a raffle, you know? And
what do you know?
And that's what happened.
That's right, man.
Good. Congratulations on that, man. Definitely congratulations. And
oh, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, congratulations. Now stop posting it every fucking goddamn day. You're really fucking annoying with you.
You know what topic we gotta talk about today? Y'all forgetting, and he's like, "What?" And I post a picture of the book.
It's like a teenager with a buffet.
That's a higher rate than Ray has, man.
Oh. Don't tell him that. Ray's gonna find a 9.0 now. Yeah, now you're small.
You know when it comes to competing, my boy Ray, he loves to compete, man. So it's like if he will one up you, he would 2-3 points up you. You know, if he realizes you got, man. But yeah.
Every time I say, "Hey Ray, I'm getting close," he's like, "No, I don't think so." I'm like, "Motherfucker."
But
I gave up on that
book. I'm going after. I'm getting a giant size X-Men #1. I just think it looks so good next to this book. Like I got to get it now.
All right.
Get it, man.
All right. Yeah.
You know, like it's just I'm itching for it already. I got to get it. Like
right now, you know what? When I got to tell you, when I was watching the video on Instagram of the raffle, and when he hit, I went, "Oh shit, he won!" And I said it so loud that I came this close to waking up my wife. I would have been a Hulk 181 in a slab in the dirt if I would have woken up my wife that night. But
I freaking, it was like at 2:00 in the morning when the guy ran the video, and I was freaking, I jumped out of bed. I was fucking, I couldn't believe that shit. My wife was at work. I called her at work. I was like, "Baby, because she knew what this book was. She knows what this book is."
Right.
When I told her once, she was like, "You better fucking go play the lotto tomorrow." So we can go see if you can pass that luck on some numbers.
You basically won a lotto, man, with the price of this book.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's more tangible right here, you know?
Yeah.
You got it right there, man. Congratulations. That's a good time right there.
Not only that, let's call it what it is. That book is not going down anytime fucking soon. No way.
That book is only going up.
This is I'm going to tell everybody, this is the time to get this book, because the 27th is when supposedly the stakeholders of Fox vote on the Disney deal to accept it. And most likely they're going to, because something came out. Actually, Tim posted it saying that looks like Comcast is not going to contest and try to cock block Disney again. They're going to go after something else that came available. So it's up to the stakeholders, and I think they're going to take the deal. So when that happens, I'm telling you right now, if you haven't seen it already, people, the trend that you see all these Fantastic Four books, you see all these X-Men books, you see Big Keys and all that starting to go up more than what they were already. And it's because
Tacoma Comics said that if he had a 181 in 8.0, that he Instagram it daily.
These books are out, like, you know, of course, my Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, man. I can't obtain that anymore, man. I don't think I'll ever finish that run, you know. And my lowest Amazing Spider-Man right now is number 7, dude. So I still need number 1 through 6, you know. And I just don't ever see me getting that. To be honest.
Marty,
sometimes you could do raffles. You know, I understand raffles are not, you're gonna waste the money once in a while, but once in a while, who hurts to throw a 10 in? That's how I look at it. Once in a while, I just was trying to get Gemma was just doing the Amazing Fantasy 15 2.0 raffle. I just won, and somebody won it, for cheap, man.
Yeah.
And that book trumps this big time,
And I think I'm gonna have to start playing those raffles, man.
Marty,
be careful; they could get a little addicting.
Or what you got to do is go through your own stuff and really think of, hey, what do I really want? Do I want a whole bunch of stuff that I read just once and just sitting in the box, and I can get rid of it because it's kind of hot or whatever, or maybe I can go to the dealer and get some credit or whatever, and then you can start getting some golden ages right there. So screw you and your 181 right there, okay, buddy?
That's a beautiful book right there. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So that's what I've been doing.
That's what we did too with the auctions that we've had. That's how I bought the Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen #1. That was an expensive book too.
Yeah.
But that one I didn't win. That one that one took discipline. It took a lot of not buying new books every week, and the same thing with this giant size X-Men #1. I'm gonna buy a copy at GPA because I want it. I know I try to always buy lower, but I'm gonna get rid of stuff so I can maintain that. Because
I agree.
And at this point in the game, if you're buying something at GPA, I think it doesn't matter, especially with specific ebooks, because the market just keeps rising.
It does.
Them. And so if you buy a book now that's $800, a year from now, it's almost like a house now. It's just going to double that.
Right. And here's another thing too that's kind of against me is that I'm a statue collector too. I don't know if you guys do that. But
really?
Yeah. But the statue market it goes up, but it will go up to a max point, and it doesn't go up like comic books though. You're gonna reach maybe $1,000 to $2,000 at the most, depending on what type of statue it is. But you're not going to see prices like you would do on a Silver Age or Golden Age book, man. So and that's very enticing for me. So yeah. But just like you said, you just gotta kind of figure out. You gotta kind of look yourself in the mirror and say, what can I get rid of? And what do I want?
Sure.
So you're gonna have to make sacrifices somewhere, man.
Marty, I can tell you right now, if you go to any cons down there or something like that, and you're really not going to buy anything, maybe you're gonna just get an autograph or maybe 1 or 2 books. Bring some books that you think you want to get rid of. Get it to the dealers. That's what I did with one con over here, actually a local con. I brought a whole bunch of books with me because I was just getting autographs signed on some memorabilia because they had some actors there. And I sold the whole bag. I came out of that place about 300.
That's good. That's a good idea. You know what? I never even thought about that, to be honest.
Take a hit. Even if you take a hit on it, just make sure you price it out, on those sites and everything of how much you paid, how much did you put into the book, and then how much you think you can get for it. At least if you can break even, fine. If you're looking to get rid of it,
Yeah, sometimes them dealers be lowballing you though.
Yeah, well, you say no.
Did you read James's comments?
Is a chucklehead, so I'm not reading his comments because he's a freaking idiot.
Nobody wants your House of Secrets, Marky.
Because he doesn't know what his book. He doesn't know what the book is. That's why he's a Marvel idiot, and he only buys books from the 1960s.
Oh man! And Chris Mason said, "Is it me or does Biggie look handsomer with the 181 behind?"
He does.
Man, you guys are funny, yo.
You guys are wild. I'm not even paying attention.
Oh man!
All right, guys. James knows. James knows. Me and him are cool. We always break each other chop. You will always be my chucklehead. Remember that.
All right, guys. You know what? I'm gonna go down the line real quick so we haven't done final thoughts and shout outs in a long time. We usually just end it, but because Marty's here, we're gonna do final thoughts and shout outs. I'm gonna start with Eli because he's all the way on my left. So go ahead, Eli. Give your final thoughts and shout outs.
And winning blown in the air.
I have a few that I gotta say. So.
Yeah, no, thanks for, the laps. I know I'm kind of busy over here because, I'm moving around, trying to come eat in the background shit. So I'm just like, whatever.
You making moves over there.
I'm here.
Listen, it's cool, man. You're coming all the way from Japan. That's awesome.
Yeah, word.
So,
that's what's up.
Yeah. I didn't think I have time because classes and stuff, but my next class is till 1:30, so I got like another hour. So I'm just going to chill.
All right, cool, man.
But yeah, thanks for having me on the show again. I always love being here. Thanks to everybody in the chat who's watching. Thanks for Marty for showing his face after 50 years.
Fucker.
Yeah, just thanks.
All right, cool, man. All right, Jeff Johnson.
All right, you know, of course, thanks to everybody in the panel, thanks to everybody in the chat, like we always say. But 2 years we've been doing this show?
Yeah, July 7th made 2 years.
Wow, you know what? I mean,
consecutive, 2 years consecutive.
I mean, shoot, it feels like I knew your guys for the last 5-10 years, man.
Yeah.
So respect to the rest of your guys, man. You know, your guys are like family to me. That's all I wanted to say, man. We did 2 years together. I hope we could do 10 more.
Yeah.
And I could just hear Manny.
That's gay. That's gay.
That's gay. That's gay, bro.
All right.
That's what's up.
Right,
I'm the newbie. I'm the newbie of the crew, man. You know, so it was good having you, Marty. Nice talking to you too, bro.
Thank you.
No doubt. Shout out to everybody in the panel, everybody else, the chat. Yo, thanks for the laughs in the chat too. Gomez, shout out to Gomez because that's in my package. I hope the package got you, bro. All right, and that's it.
All right, cool. Marky 316.
All right, everybody. Well, as always, everybody, shout out to everybody in the chat. Marty, fucking A. Feels like you never left, dude.
Word.
It was awesome, man, that you were back on and everything like that.
Thank you.
And you want to talk about Grails, and this has nothing to do with comics. If you notice, I went to see Suicidal Tendencies this weekend. It's one of my favorite bands that I grew up with. And right now, they got the world's greatest metal drummer playing for him. And guess who got the fucking stick at the show? Finally, I get one of these fucking things.
I better not see that on eBay.
Oh, fuck no. This is going in my fucking grave. This is a drumstick from Dave Lombardo. He actually handed it to me. So
Nice.
as a metal guy, that's like your Hulk 181 there. I went, I got a stick. So anyway, good night all. It's been great. I had a great time. And Marty, fucking A, man. We got to do this more often, man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Marky. All right, Fanboy72, aka Marty. You forgot. I knew that name.
Yeah, that was my old AKA, man. Yeah. Hey, first of all, when Enrique told me, hey, come on the show tonight, man, I was like, hell yeah, I'll come on the show. I was giving him shit a while back. I was like, hey, man, you don't like me no more or what? Because what are you talking about? I was like, you invited me on the show, man. You know,
I would have had you sooner because I just thought that you wanted, you wasn't doing this no more like that, you know.
I hear you, but I want to say thank you for letting me come on the show and just shoot the shit with you guys because that's what it felt like, you know, being able to come back and just hanging out with your boys and just shooting the shit and and I was kind of looking at the chat side and stuff and people making comments and stuff like that. Hey, Marty's back, or hey, welcome back. Say thanks a lot, guys. For all the people in the chat that names I recognize, AG Surfer, TiVo was there, King of the Golden State was there, a few other people that I remember, but a lot of newer people. And well, shit, welcome to the community. I know it's like 2 years late, but yeah, welcome to the community. But regardless, I really had a great time tonight, guys. I really appreciate you guys taking the time and being very hospitable and inviting me into your home here, because that's what it is when you do your show. That's your home. You're invited into your home, So thanks again, guys. Big shout out to my boy Ray. Get your ass back here soon, man. So you can start doing more videos on our Facebook channel.
Yeah, he has a whole bunch lined up. I spoke to him the other day, and he has over 30 slabs coming from CGC. He has about a year's worth of pull list books from Midtown. He has a shitload of stuff just piling up.
So pop the popcorn, man, because you're going to be sitting down there watching this shit for a while. But man, he's been keeping it alive for me on the Facebook and on, and then of course we got TiVo's actually one of the monitors on.
He's the admin on there.
Admin on the Comic Book Fanatics Facebook group. So he kind of monitors that every once in a while. But but for the most part, guys, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot, and it was a good time. I really enjoyed it tonight.
Cool, man. Always a pleasure, man. All right. real quick, just a couple of guys. If you guys are not subbed to Comic Book Fanatics, especially newer people that's been in the community for a while, haven't been here for a while. There's a link for Marty's channel. It's Marty and Ray. They have a joint channel, Comic Book Fanatics. The link is in the description already for this video, so check it out when you guys get a chance. Also, I want to give a shout out to reviews from the Batcave. They have a show they do every Friday called Comic Core, and they gave us a huge shout out on their last show. And they kind of wanted to do something also because they have kind of like a big group, kind of like ours, and they were throwing out stuff like for Christmas time to do a Secret Santa exchange. Since we have, our numbers are kind of like, the same and stuff like that, but they threw out a lot of ideas and stuff like that. But I just want to give those guys a shout out, and if you guys haven't seen their show, check it out. I have the link for their channel also in the description of this video. And that's it, guys. Until next time. Peace.
Oh, real quick,
go ahead, Eli.
I want to show y'all this view. Hold on, my camera's off. I don't know why.
There we go. That's a great view.
Your forehead.
The logo.
Yeah, your forehead.
All right.
Oh, look
wow.
at that, guys. No, do it like that, yeah.
Nice.
There you guys. New York Warriors, you get the view of Japan, Tokyo.
That's it, baby.
Letting it go in Tokyo. Oh, shit. That's Rocky 5. Okay.
That's nice.
All right,
that is
guys.
nice. That's beautiful. That's a good way to end the show. Good night,
Yeah.
all.
Good night,
Good
guys.
night, all.